Hey guys, this is Azra back here on gentechie.net giving our long-term noise another go here. We've come up against two NBNs and we've now got a third different NBN. We've got Sync in front of us. Slightly concerned again to have an opening hand without Wildside in it, but it's a really tempting hand. The Cache Aesops, the Lamprey all very much make me want to keep this, but I think I'm going to mulligan and just hope for the Wildside here, though there are far worse hands we could end up with. This is much of a muchness. No Aesops, which is sad. The adjusted chronotype's a little bit so early. And Sync. So we need to be expecting Data Ravens, tagging, Keegan Leans maybe, and maybe even snares if you play cheeky builds. And this is an interesting one. So I feel like we got to go check this, even just to force the res. Potentially could do it before installing anything, or we could install an imp. My concern is Archangel, but if the imp comes back to hand, I'm kind of alright with that. We could always install Cache and then run, which maybe isn't a bad play either. Yeah, let's do Cache. And we'll do the imp as well. And then let's go and see what's going on in server 1 here. Resistor is absolutely going to fire. And we could fight this if he doesn't boost it. How much does he want to keep us out here? Don't you have to pay 2 credits to keep us out? I'd be tempted just to run this again if he does decide to pay the 2. Oh, he's having a bit of a think. Leaves it at 0. Ooh. So he doesn't mind letting us in. If we go through and it's a snare, we won't be able to clear the tag. I think I'm maybe just going to bounce here, though if this is a bit of a tricky play to throw me off what is possibly an agenda, this is pretty awesome, but I'm going to bounce and just let that sit, and then I think I'll just street pedal and get a Parasite, which isn't too bad. Okay. It was an Adonis. Interesting. Okay. So in the next turn, we can potentially look to Parasite the Resistor and go and imp this Adonis, which I would be A-okay with. Unless he does double ice it, which I think would be a legitimately good play, because this could be a later scoring server. Thankfully, we don't really want the David or the adjusted chronotype that much. Parasite and David, kind of both good cards in this situation. I do expect Archangels, I do expect wraparounds. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the Parasite out. Pretty good for us. See a Lamprey, which is also good for us. Don't think I'm going to do it this turn though. I will trash the Adonis, so it's not too bad. And I think just draw again is probably a suitable play here. And Aesops is nice. Okay, so we're not in a terrible position at all here right now, despite the fact we haven't got our Wildside. Story of my noise plays, actually, just not seeing Wildside. I had a game that I actually ended up not posting. I don't think I'm going to put it onto YouTube because it was actually quite an enjoyable game against a guy who ended up telling me he was actually just running a core deck. I didn't actually get to see a lot of it, but he wasn't even running Jackson. And I think, as anybody knows, if you're playing noise and you come up against a player who's not running Jackson, they're in for a really sad time. So I didn't want to post it. It was a good game all in all, but I didn't want to kind of show that because it felt a little bit one-sided overall. Now, really want to take advantage of this open HQ here. So the temptation is to Lamprey and just run in 3 times. So another one of these points where I'm kind of unsure on what the best thing to do is, because that would put him at 6 credits and leave me on 3, which in my mind leaves me very vulnerable to C-sources or potentially mid-seasons if I do hit an agenda. That being said, I've got 1 imp counter which could be used to get rid of one of those, so I feel like I'm going to take the risk here. And assuming he's got no ice. since he just gained 3 credits. So I'm hoping to hit something tasty here. Oh, news team. Yeah, let's just take that as a -1 point, unfortunately. I don't want 2 tags. We're hoping to get rid of something like a C source. Information overload, okay. I'm okay with that, it's good to know. Lunch campaign. Should we just trash this for 2? Or should we use the imp counter in case he purges next turn? Yeah, let's just imp it. I think our credits are quite important to us right now. News team's obviously not the best thing we wanted to see, but he is drawing, so that's okay. Hopefully we're escaping any tags here. And he does see a bit of ice. Okay, so that's unfortunate for us. There's Wildside, which is great. So I think we'll just credit Wildside and Aesops. And then next turn, once we get the Justice Chronotype going, we're going to have our Injure going. And we're kind of really neither of us have really advanced our board state that much. Let's get rid of the imp for now. Yeah, that's okay. Continue to draw a little bit. Other Aesops is really not great. Get the Chronotype credit. Okay. And next turn we can look to potentially get the imp and the cash back with Deja after Aesopsing off the cash. And he again is just icing crediting, which is fair enough. And we get another Lamprey, which is actually really tasty. If we Deja for cash imp, we're going to have 8 cards in our hand, which we can then play 2. We could potentially play 3 of, or just drop the Aesops. I think we do need to keep our money rolling here. The Data Sucker is another option as well. We just sell off the Data Sucker potentially. Yeah, I like this play. Let's set up for some next turn aggression. So next turn thinking, sell off the Data Sucker, put out the Lamprey, and then look to run to HQ and start looking to double, put out the Lamprey, look to double Lamprey. I think that's an okay play. The only concern is what this ice could be. It could end up costing us a lot of cards. So we've got a Wildside, Aesops, Hacktivist, Clot, all of which I'm kind of okay with getting rid of. So hopefully we don't end up getting penalized too badly here by something brutal. Archangel would be pretty bad. Little Engine would be pretty bad, although we won't say no to the money if that comes up. He's thinking. This is the thing about Jinteki.net. You don't get to see your opponent's reactions as you make a play, which is kind of a bit bold or a bit risky. Data Raven would be pretty sad here. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm definitely alright with that. He's going to try and give me tags to strength 3. I'm just checking. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to fight this. I don't want to have to spend anything I don't have, so I'll boost this to 3. Just checking. So yeah, so when the runner encounters information overload, you trace 1. If successful, you give the runner a tag. And information overload gains, the runner trashes 1 of his or her installed cards for each tag the runner has. So subroutine for each tag I have, and I currently have none, and I definitely don't want one. So yeah, let's avoid that. And trying to think why he really... Oh, okay. So he maybe could have boosted that 1 further. We see pop-up window. Okay. So next turn we've got a good opportunity to go in here and imp this. We can't do it now, unfortunately. We're credit shy. So maybe he actually calculated that pretty well to stop us installing imp and then just running here. That'd be a pretty baller bit of math on his part. I really don't want to see him purge and us lose both lampreys and imp counters, so I'm going to hold on to the imp. Because yeah, we really would like to get in here and continue to lamprey. Oh wow, okay, so he is actually going to go ahead and try and protect this, which I think is a really pretty good decision actually. So we've got a tough one now. Do we want to ace-ups off one of these lampreys? I don't think we really do. But we need money and we need it now. If I run his hand getting down to 2 credits, I can potentially run his hand twice and we can break the subroutines if they do come up. The problem is we then take a tag, which we really don't want to be doing. Resistors also would be resible for 0, which is pain. I feel like I'm missing an opportunity here to really do a lot. I think I potentially might end up running server 2 first and then look to come back to HQ. Pop up, okay. Fair enough. I've just realised that I forgot to install imp. So that was painfully bad. Oh my. Very silly on my part. Very silly indeed there. If I run back, I'd have to basically break it with a card, which I'm okay with. So yeah, I think I will just take this one on the chin and actually look to run back and make face down cards. We've got quite a few, 4, 5, 6, 7 face down cards. Definitely not enough to win. Though the archive interface I may want to install at this turn. I'll take a credit just so I don't have to give a card up to this pop-up window. Does end up giving him even more. Let's see what we hit. Hopefully it's not something that you can res for 6. Doesn't actually res it, okay. Which is fair enough, and I think we'll just drop the ace-ups. I'm quite surprised, so wondering what this is that he didn't want to res it. So I really want to start getting in a double lampreying HQ here. It's just how to best deal with this information overload. I really don't want to start getting tags stacked against me, considering they're 3 credits to remove. And at any moment, if he was to flip over and trash our 3 kind of core resources, we would be in a horrendous position. So it may be better simply just to ace-ups off this imp here. There's a 3rd lamprey. Actually, I could just ace-ups off the lamprey now, which I think we'll do. Yeah, having to think really quite hard here. And I may be overthinking it, but I just really don't want him to land that. And I also would like to go now and prevent him getting any further stacks up there. Yes, I'm really just not sure how much I like these hacktivist meetings, 2 of them. I mean, it's putting my event total to 9, which also makes Street Peddlers less good. They are fantastic against horizontal decks, and I've just happened to come across 3 NBN decks, which is pretty tricky. He is just gaining credits, which I am good with. And now I think we're in the position to go in here and start aggressively attacking. So if I lamprey, credit, we can then go in and be on 9 credits and be assured that he can't land a tag on us. He could spend all of his money on this, which he's not going to. And 15 minutes we really don't want, but I think we're not in a terrible position to suffer from something like mid-season, so I'm okay to attack it here. We're only 2 credits ahead, but I feel like he needs to purge here. If he doesn't, we are just going to ransack his HQ. He's possibly looking for a piece of ice, or maybe money to install ice, but if he doesn't protect HQ here, we're just going to charge in. We've still got 2 caches to draw into. A cache would be awesome. Okay, not sure if we care too much about what that is. Yeah, I think we're just going to run HQ here and see how much he tries to put into this trace. Not even ace-opsing anything. I could have ace-ops to gain the credit advantage, but I think potentially docking him 2 credits for a run here is far better. So he's thinking again. So I don't think he can really throw a ton of credits into this. If he does and he goes bankrupt, then that leaves that server pretty vulnerable, even though it's behind a pop-up window and what could be a quite cheap to res ice. He didn't res this ice for 6 credits though, so it could be an assassin. He could just be playing an Adonis type play again, I guess, or potentially an Eve. I think we are going to avoid the tag because it's 4 to avoid it or 3 and a click to avoid it. So I think we'll definitely look to avoid it. Oh my, okay. So that's pretty big. And I think Archives is potentially an option here. But I think just continuing to pressure HQ is going to be my decision. What a mix of agendas here. One that's only worth 2 points, which is pretty grim. 50 minutes which could be taken back at any second, and this news team which is giving us a -1. So a score error full of things we don't really want. Which I love, and I love that about Sync. I wonder if he's going to look to tag us here. And if he does tag us, we'll have to spend a click on 3, which is absolutely fair enough. But I think once we get him to 0, we can then look to start selling the lampreys and switch our attention elsewhere. We're giving him really tricky decisions here. He does boost it to 5, so we're going to take a tag, which means we're going to have to break this, which is fair enough. Although it is the runner trashes one of his install cards for each tag I have, so actually will I just trash a lamprey? No, I think getting rid of cards in my hand is better here, so let's boost, and then we will break with the Clot, I think, or the David. No, the clock I think is going to be the call here. I don't actually want to trash in the cards I currently have installed. I'd rather have the credits by ASOPsing them. Could have essentially let the could have essentially let a lamprey go. We see a closed accounts, and yeah, do you know what? I will imp that. Now, knowing the bin is now reasonably safe, I kind of want to go check it out. But again, would love to get the archives interface installed before I do that. Again, I'm just not sure how good this card really is against anyone except Industrial Genomics. I think if I had a little bit more money here, I think I wouldn't have any qualms with just firing it down. So does he purge here? If not, I think we're probably going to look to start selling the lampreys next turn anyway. He can't just take credits. Wow, okay. That's really surprising to me. Because I feel like, unless he's got something he invests for 3 here, like a Cyberdex, which it definitely could be, he's just leaving himself open again for another attack. So credit run is definitely an option. Or should we just ace-up the lamprey and look to pressure elsewhere? This is tough. Okay, well, let's ace-up the imp, because I mean it's dead anyway, and let's just run into HQ. And if he cyberdecks us, okay, it's not awful, it's not great, but he'll be out of money. And we'll lose a potential 6 credits, really. So he has boosted it. Let's see, has he got no further action? No. Oh my goodness, we see another global food. So this is going pretty well for us. And I think we're just going to look to get the Grimoire out here. So hopefully next turn we can try and start getting some economy going. Again, I'm definitely expecting him to purge next turn. Tough to know what to get rid of. We haven't used any Deja Vus yet, which is actually really good, but really would like to see one of our second or third caches. I think we'll just let David go here. And this is good. We're really kind of choking the corp out here, not letting them get anywhere. It would be ideal to be able to sort of take advantage of an R&D dig here whenever he does purge, if he's going to. Wow. Installs a card in service 2 and takes 2 credits. Okay. So it could be a Jackson. But again, that would just leave him right open to me to just run into the HQ and continue to pressure. I mean, I'm tempted to ace-ops off the Faust at this point. No, let's do one of the lampreys. And then let's go into HQ and see what he tries to do here. Could have maybe installed the imp first. Okay. So we are spending, quite a lot of money going through this each time to avoid hitting tags. Is he going to res something for 1? He is. But we get a quantum predictive model, which I am good with. Up to 5 agenda points now. Okay, and I think probably now we're going to sort of get away from the HQ pressure. And next turn I'm going to look to probably just sell this lamprey, get some money together with caches here. What I'd really like to see him do here now is get using the little bit of money he has got to start defending HQ, and really we don't care about going there any longer. That being said, a win is probably just waiting for us in archives. We've got a huge amount of face down cards, no Jackson on the board, and a Faust in play, so we probably are absolutely fine just to walk into archives and just clinch this game out. You always need to be careful though, because of the news teams. If you take -2 points, it actually could stop you. And funnily enough, I haven't felt like I've needed the levy here. A clone chip for a single cache probably would have been more useful. Okay, it does go with the HQ protection, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And we're just going to start getting some more money here. Got cash and data sucker, I think, is probably the best economy-wise. Shall we just run there now we have the money? Probably absolutely fine to do so. Maybe being overly cautious. Could install the archive interface, I guess. Sure, why not? Let's head to archives with a stacked up Faust and hopefully nothing that's going to stop us for 3 credits. Yeah, resistor is not going to do anything. And get rid of the mimic. Maybe not the best call there actually, but I think we're probably all good here. Though we don't have enough to defeat the red herrings, but I'm okay to go in here and see what's going on. Oh my word. So news team, we will archives interface. Dang. I must have missed the window there, potentially. So we can't do anything with any of this. Was there 2 in there? So I think I should have pressed that first, potentially. I think that's just the timings wise that went a little bit wrong. The archive interface wasn't going to save us from the red herrings, preventing us winning there. Is that a Jackson? Can he actually take enough out of there not to lose? Well, he actually can. So just that little kind of Jinteki.net mistake there, kind of putting it in the wrong order. He also could get the 15 minutes back if he realizes that. I'm maybe being too nice here. I really should have just won the game there. But I'm happy enough just to let it play out and see what happens. I'm pretty sure we have this game completely locked down at this point. So, I mean, we know that's a Jackson, really. I don't think it really can be anything other than that. We could street pedal just for the chance of getting another virus. There's a data sucker and a cache. Great. And now we're on archives. Let's see if we can actually get enough away here to stop us. So food, Astro, so successful run. So I steal, quantum predictive. Oh, and that's it. That's only one. I guess I could have arcade interfaces to Jackson. I'm not quite sure when this is meant to trigger, actually. It's a bit odd. But he only has 7 cards left in his deck now, so yeah, this game really is absolutely done. It's just a matter of kind of closing it out here with the last couple of viruses. Oh, it does install something over archives, okay. We do have a third parasite to come along. These -1 points are just so not fun. I mean, there's probably an agenda in HQ, let's not lie. Let's see if we can get a medium here. We don't see a medium. We do see our 2 Deja Vu though, which is pretty great. I don't think there's a huge amount we really want to be doing right now, not for this last click. So I'm just going to take a credit, dump this hacktivist meeting. This is the thing about Clot, when you don't have a clone chip or sacrificial construct to back it up. I always get nervous about just popping it down and just having them purge it straight out and losing things like 3 imp counters and the Clot together. It seems like too good of a target really to ignore when you're the Corp. But yeah, he's about to run out of deck here. 1 Jackson's used. We know the other Jackson's in archives. That could be the 3rd Jackson potentially. There's medium, but I don't really think there's any need for us to run here. I'm just going to grab cash. And should I just levy? Yeah, just levy. Unless that's a Jackson, that's the end of the game. Oh, it's a lunch. So yeah, we really kind of clawed that out. Obviously, had a little mistake with the archives run. We did have a lot of good mills and really just kind of kept enough pressure on HQ to really let him get nowhere. Oh, he says apparently the deck only has 2 Jacksons. Which is not something you want to realise when you just come up against a noise. That's pretty sad for him, actually. He is running just typical kind of HB economy out of sync. I normally expect to see that kind of build more in Spark, but that was a good game. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, appreciate any comments as ever below, and I do hope to see you guys again next time. All the best.